Greetings, good day, good evening, good afternoon. Whatever time you may be hearing this, I want to take the time to say a humble salutations to you. Welcome or welcome back to The Healer with yours truly, Keziah Afua Renee, me. If you noticed, I did revamp my logo, I did change my name, and just wanted to let you all in on where it came from. The name change came from me learning that Afua means born on Friday, and also like bringer of change, the grounded one, just kind of that realm. And I just felt like that name really resonated with me more than my given names, and that's what I decided to make my middle name now. So yeah, we are back today though on this beautiful Wednesday, and it's our Wellness Wednesday episode. And today's topic is about rest and rejuvenation. And I just wanted to talk about how those things in and of themselves are acts of rebellion. So it's just like the most radical thing you can do, is give yourself time to do nothing. Literally. I don't think we realize just how much the world is like shaped around constantly being in pursuit of something, constantly moving, constantly consuming, or constantly outputting. Just constant something. Rest is not really glorified, the way we glorify working hard. Because if we did, more people would rest. We probably wouldn't even have a 5-day work week. We'd probably have like a 4 or 3-day work week. But it's just like, if people prioritized resting, they'd be able to be more creative. They'd be more mellow and even tempered, just because they're not constantly having to process, I can't think of the specific word, but like things around them, they're not stimulated. They're not constantly stimulated, so they can actually rest and rejuvenate themselves. And the rejuvenation piece comes in where you're not just doing nothing while you're resting, but you're pouring into yourself. So that could be cooking yourself a nice meal, or meal prepping, reading a couple chapters out of your book, or writing some poetry, working on those projects that you've kind of just been looking at. And I want to say, like, the biggest reason you've probably been looking at it stuck on stupid is probably because you need help. And I'm not saying need help in the sense that, like, you're not capable, but need help in the sense that you yourself don't have the resources immediately available to you to get to where you want to go. Like, building a strong community is how you do that. Like, building connections and relationships with people around you that actually care about you, and not only care about you, but they care about themselves. That's the biggest thing you have to look for. People that care about themselves. Because if somebody's taking care of themselves, you can damn sure bet your right foot that they're going to be able to take care of you. And if they're not taking care of themselves, there's no possible way that they're going to be able to take care of you. So, how do you not feel guilty while doing these things? Because that's a very, very big thing amongst the community, because resting and rejuvenating ourselves is so looked down upon. So for me, it was a very big mindset change that involved me comprehending that our society was literally not tailored to prioritize resting and refueling yourself. So you're going to feel guilty automatically. So I had to reprogram my brain and my thoughts into realizing that this rest was necessary. This rest was rebellion. Because going back into how we got here, we were brought, like our ancestors were brought here on ships. They weren't allowed to rest peacefully. They weren't allowed to rejuvenate and replenish themselves. They were forced to work day in and day out to make money for somebody else. Now we're forced to work day in and day out to kind of make money for other people, but it's under the guise of making money for ourselves too. And it's just crazy because that's not even a system that we should be subscribing to, but we are. I'm going to digress on that though. And how to not feel guilty for building a strong community is realizing that if you don't have a strong community, you're going to have to let whoever is around you go. And I'm not saying that you have to let go of everybody. I'm not saying you have to cut everybody off. But what I am saying is you have to realize that you're not going to be able to create bonds with new people who are elevated if you're stuck around people who are not. Because those people who are elevated are going to see you, and then they might see you with somebody else who's not elevated one day, and then they're going to question your integrity and your authority at that point. And that's not something that you want, especially whenever you're trying to build, yourself, or you're trying to just grow your empire. Like, it doesn't matter that you've known them for 15 years. Like, if they're no longer contributing positively, if they're no longer a good influence, it's time. Time to let them go. Time to get serious about your goals. It's time to choose you. You can't even think about being well if you're surrounded by people, places, and thoughts that don't mean you any well. Literally. And sometimes, I'm just going to say it, because I feel like this is a very important thing and it needs to be said out loud. Sometimes it be your own family. Sometimes it be your mama. Sometimes it's your daddy. Sometimes it's your sister. Sometimes it's your brother. Sometimes it's your uncle. Sometimes it's your auntie. Sometimes it's your cousin. Sometimes it's your stepmom. Sometimes it's your stepdad. Sometimes it's your godmom. Sometimes it's your godfather. Stop trying to act like if you really mean the world well, if you genuinely want the world to be better because you exist here, you're going to know firsthand that it be your own people. It be your own people that don't want you to grow, that don't want you to rest, that don't want you to rejuvenate yourself, that don't want you to change. It be them. They be the ones that when they see you on your do nothing days, asking you, oh, what you got planned for today, trying to make you feel guilty for not having anything to do. Literally. It happens all the time. Your parents see you lounging in your pajamas at noon, and they asking you why you still not dressed yet. Because I don't have anywhere to go. Why do I need to be going somewhere every day, every second of my life? Sit down. This is something that me and my mother, my birth giver, we argue hard about this. Because at this point in her life, it's impacting her health. And it's just you not being able to sit down, be still, and allow yourself to rejuvenate is going to literally make or break you. You can't keep on pretending like you can get around the way you used to 10 years ago. It's okay that you can't. Honor the fact that it was when it was, and it's different now. But like those type of situations taught me firsthand that not everybody thinks like that. And that's okay. Not everybody is going to think like that. Not everybody even wants, that. Some people are okay with constantly living in their past, despite what the present is giving them. And as somebody who knows and thrives in the fact that change is the only constant in life, I had to teach myself how to be okay with that. I had to teach myself that there were other people in the world like that, because that's not fathomable to me. That's literally infathomable. 11:11 as I'm talking about this being unfathomable. But yeah, like it's just so crazy how society has made resting damn near a sin. Like, I don't even like using that word, but it's just like that's the only word that I feel like encapsulates how scrutinized rest is. And that's crazy to me. Like, what? Man, get yourself around people who honor the fact that you have days where you don't want to do anything and you don't want to be bothered. And while you have people around you and you're creating your community of people that are like that, you have to know that they're going to need and want their space sometimes too. And that's okay. Like, you can't expect somebody to give you something, i.e. space and time to rest, if you're not willing to give that to them. So I just wanted to like put that out there as well, just so it's known that reciprocity is like one of the main keys to life. Reciprocity, communication. I'm going to just give y'all those two right now, because those are the two very important ones, like when it comes to this episode right here. Yeah, like you can't expect other people to give you things that you're not willing to give them. And you also can't expect someone to communicate things to you that you're not willing to communicate to them. And I want to be clear that like being willing to communicate something and knowing how to do that are two different things. That one involves giving somebody grace for, and the other involves you leaving because it's a choice that the other person's making. Like somebody not knowing how to communicate something, that deserves grace because they probably don't know how, they were never taught, or they've never experienced it. Remember, people can only, treat you as well as they've seen or experienced. But it's like, if you have somebody who just simply isn't willing to communicate with you, then you have to acknowledge that that's them trying to manipulate your reality by withholding, feelings and information from you. And that's manipulation, and you gotta go. Like, I'm tired of pretending like when people shut down or aren't willing to communicate their feelings, like that's a normal thing. Like, oh, I'm just nonchalant, or oh, I just go silent when I get angry. Like, yes, it's okay to need time to process your feelings. However, it's not okay to never talk about that thing again. Like, and falling into the trap of, oh, I need time to process, and then never communicating that thing again with that other person definitely can happen, and it's something that you gotta watch out for. Like, that was something my own mother was doing to me, and it got me to the point to where I was responding out of a place of trauma in my other like friendships, relationships, and things like that, by kind of needing my friends, my partners, to discuss whatever like we were at odds about right at that moment. And I had to really, really do a lot of work on myself when it came to that, because genuinely, some people need time to process their feelings. Like, some people are not aware of themselves enough to know in each moment of the day, like, how they're feeling, especially whenever their feelings begin to change, or it's something that it's a feeling, that they're not used to feeling. So they really need time to process that. And so I really had to work on myself and give people time to do that, but also sharpen my discernment to know when it was somebody really needing time versus somebody trying to manipulate me. So yeah, that's like the biggest tip that I can give you. Know that communication and reciprocity are two things that are needed when it comes to you prioritizing your rest and rejuvenation. Because if people aren't willing to honor, that part of you, they don't deserve to be around you when you're productive. And it's just that simple. And if people can't communicate, with you whenever they need the same thing, you also don't need to be around them. Because they'll start to resent you and say, oh, so-and-so is running me like a dog. When in reality, you don't know that they are running on empty. Like, we can only really be in tune with ourselves all the time. So that's why it's so important that everybody's responsible enough to communicate their feelings, especially when those feelings change with each other. It's just what you would do if you care about someone. But yeah, like always, I hope you guys have a wonderful night and a beautiful tomorrow. And just continue to be well, treat each other well, and be kind. Until the next episode, peace and one love.